Josh, obviously disappointing. How does this happen? And is that the question you guys are asking yourselves?
Um, Man, we just gotta play better on all sides. That's all it is. There's no magic formula. There's no magic answer. It's just whenever offense gets a chance to score, we gotta do it. Whenever special teams gets a chance to make a big play, gotta do it. Whenever defense gets a chance to make a big stop, we gotta do it. That's all it is. Just playing better complementary football.
Josh, after a few games that kind of feel like this, how much harder is it to kind of pick your heads up after a game like this?
Yeah, there's still a lot to play for in this season. Just communicating that with the rest of the team. I only got a couple more opportunities left because I'm a senior, and just really getting that message out to the rest of the team, young guys, old guys. It doesn't matter who it is. We still have a lot to play for. We're still fighting for a bowl game, that extra game, to spend more time with our brothers. So that's just the main message. I'm not gonna quit regardless. And like I said, just spreading that energy to the rest of the team is gonna be the next step.
LeVar, I think y'all were like maybe the third team to stop Utah on its first two drives of a game. But what happened after that? The big plays seemed like they got you more than anything.
You know, it's just started fast, like you said. It's just guys just one guy not being in the right spot, and that just those key plays at those key moments where those explosives just happens.
Josh, obviously things got a little chippy in the fourth quarter. Was that addressed at all on the sideline or locker room? And is that a bad look for y'all?
Yeah, it was addressed. Guys just can't really give in to that negative energy, just kind of looming over. So just handling it better is definitely something we can do in the future.
LeVar, is there a disconnect at all between what you're doing in practice and what happens on Saturday? Like, is there a disconnect between the two, and why?
No, I don't feel like there's any disconnect. I feel like the way we practice 100% every day. It's just games, we just got to come out and do the same thing. I mean, you can see the first couple of drives, that's what we've done. Like I said earlier, it's just there's like 10 guys doing the right thing. It's just that one guy who's out of place that makes the explosive play happen. So,
Josh, before the half, you make the big touchdown there. What was the feeling going into halftime? And did you feel like, okay, we've got traction? And then even early in the, midway through the third quarter, you're right in the game. How were you feeling at that point?
Yeah, no, that you could definitely feel the momentum and just the whole energy kind of shift in our favor. There was definitely a look on guys' face, like coming out at halftime, that people were focused, ready to go. I think it just goes back to offense making the touchdown at the right time, because defense came out, got a big stop. We drove it down. We got to get in the end zone at that point to keep that momentum our way, for sure.
Josh, I know a football team tries to keep the outside noise from getting inside, but was there any outside noise that got involved this week with all the changes in administration? And did you ever think that this team would be sitting here where it is today, the way this season you thought would be?
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot of distractions when it came to this game. Everybody was focused, ready to go. We knew it was a big game, big opponent, so everybody's focus was on that. When it pertains to our team, definitely not. This is a championship caliber team whenever we actually put it all together. So it's definitely disappointing to see, but we're at this point now, and so all we can do is just keep pressing and keep going forward at this point. Like I said, just finish out the season strong, go to a bowl game, finish strong.
LeVar, I know y'all would rather have the win, but Josh had a career day today. Is he inspiring to watch the way he fights for yards out there?
Yes, sir, he is. Defense may give up a touchdown here and there, but seeing Josh just keep playing all game long, making catches that I've never seen before, just all game long, just gives the defense hope. Just brings the momentum back to the defense every time we see Josh or the other receivers making big catches like that, just keeping us in the game. So.
Just kind of like wondering, what's y'all's take on kind of the student section almost seeming to shift up to the 300 level? Does it make a difference on the field? You hear it in the stadium still, but all those fans moving from the sideline up to the 300, what does that kind of do for y'all?
Yeah, no, it was kind of like the trend, the little shirtless trend that's going around college football. So it was definitely cool to see kind of make its way to Baylor, and it was definitely the energy was definitely felt kind of all the way through on third downs, on offense, on big scores. It was real cool to see for sure.
Josh, like Bryce said, you had a career day. What motivates you? What pushes you in a game like this when it's pretty much out of reach and you're still making big plays there in the fourth quarter? What pushes you?
Shoot. I would just say, just thinking about my journey and just where I'm at now, I like to always carry a chip, like I said, regardless of the situation. I came from, I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no offers. I didn't have nothing. So that's always ringing in the back of my mind, win, lose, or draw. So that's the main motivation factor. Another thing, I'm doing this for my mom, to take care of my family one day, and just to get us in a different position. Like I said, those are the main motivations for me. And so just always carrying that chip is the most important thing.
Anything else with you, Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
It's good to see you guys. Way disappointing game. Very frustrated and gutted. Really was not anticipating that. Really didn't see that. The locker rooms is tough. A lot of guys frustrated and angry, and I'm right there with them. And so I thought in the start of the game, I thought that defensively, for the most part, we had 11 guys being where the 11 guys needed to be. I thought the times that we had 10 out of the 11, that's where you saw the touchdown runs. Utah's very much an option offense where there'd be a quarterback run going this way and there's a running back run going this way. And so all 11 that you got are counted to be where they need to be. And, I thought first half we were close. Those long runs are not acceptable. Tried to get them fixed. Third quarter was more of the same. And then the fourth quarter, just the pressure of all of it was too much for us. I thought offensively, we were able to run the ball early in the game. And I thought that pushed Utah into single high defense, which they want to be anyways, and to zero blitz. Typically Utah is a 70% man-free team. They were probably 30% in this game. They were heavy zero. I saw more zero blitz in this game than we had seen really throughout the year. So a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and we're able to make completions on some of those, and then others we missed. And in games like this, we have to make those, whether it's the catch or it's the throw. I thought the inconsistency on offense in terms of scoring touchdowns would affect us, and it did. Take any questions you guys got.
Dave, you mentioned it's disappointing. Things seemed to bubble over in the fourth quarter. Got a little chippy.
Mm-hmm.
How did you address that with the team? And, I mean, that's something that can't happen.
Yes, I agree with that. I went out on the field from all the ones that I saw, and I think guys are frustrated. It's not an excuse. We have to be able to handle all of that, the emotions that come with losing or winning better, and we can't do anything that would hurt the team, and so I'm disappointed in that. And that's something that I talked to the team about, and that's something that generally we do a good job with. So disappointed that showed up tonight.
Coach, you said that you didn't see this coming. So coming off the bye week, what are you most disappointed by what you saw on the field, especially coming after the bye week?
Our level of execution. I thought that defensively we had one call, We had one defense that we played. There's some the change-ups in the front, but really we played quarters coverage the entire game just about. And we've got to be able to execute. And there's things when the tight ends are together, when the tight ends are apart, when the back's offset too and away. And I just think all of it was, all of it was, and I take responsibility for it, but all of it was not executed the way it needs to be. I think the style of their offense, if you're not where you need to be, it hits. Other people have been hit, and we were really thinking that we were going to be much closer to it. I think there's parts and pieces of that early in the game were where we needed to be, and it was 2-yard gains or 0-yard gains or tackle for loss. But there has to be so much more consistency there.
Dave, what did you say to your team this week about the MAC situation, if anything?
Yeah, to keep the focus on trying to improve daily and to keep the focus on trying to win. I just think there's been some distractions this season, but there's distractions every season. And, it's my job to keep that out of our front view and keep that off to the side. And so it's always a difficult challenge, especially with a night game and a later start on Saturday. You want people basically away from their phones as best you can. But yeah, we have to stay. We have a chance to win 2 more games, and that's really all that matters.
Okay.
Coach, that frustrating, disappointing feeling has been maybe a common feeling in these after a few games. How much harder is it after a game like this to tell the guys to get their heads up and keep going when there's only 2 games left in the season?
Yeah, I think anytime you lose, you get gutted. I think anytime you get the ball run on you, you're probably gutted more. I thought that there's leaders on our team that just don't accept it and are not going to stand for it and are going to fight. And so when I talk to the team, it's, hey, we need to stay together. Our leaders, we need to be able to push to make sure that they lead. Right? If there's guys that ain't doing it, I'm going to see it, and you ain't going to be a part of it. We're going to finish these last 2 the right way.
With Jerry and then Parker, and then we'll go back to Smokey.
Dave, you talked about having the running game going early. Was there maybe too much asked of Sawyer today? I think he threw 58 passes for the game.
Probably so. I think the run game had to be more consistent throughout the game. I think when we were not able to keep the running game going, it forced us into 2nd and longs. And, we go for it on 4th down so much that you try to get to a number on 3rd down to where you can sneak a run in there and be able to go for it on 4th down. But our inability to get runs on 1st down put in a long 2nd down to where now we're throwing. I think initially there were some runs again, so run, and we weren't getting anything. We ended up having to throw it too much. That's about the time the score got away defensively too.
Dave, you mentioned kind of how disappointing this might have been with the fan turnout too, and the energy that was in the stadium. Now, as you look ahead towards bowl eligibility, how imperative is that you guys hit that mark? And what are you kind of telling the team in terms of how to finish strong, like you mentioned?
Yeah, I look at our senior class. I look at guys that have been through some adversity, guys that I have so much respect for, and guys that I have seen through good times, bad times, that I have seen persevere, that I have seen take criticism and humble themselves and grow and be better for it. I've seen guys that have turned their life over to Christ, or guys that never really liked to study and are studying and doing great in school, and just the maturity of all of it. They deserve better than this. They deserve better than this. And so I'm just frustrated with myself. I can't give it to them right now. We've got 2 more games to get that done.
Dave, you talk about bowl eligibility. MAC is out of the picture, at least it appears for now, and maybe long term. What have you been told? You're under contract, but it's an every other year thing, and then you got a class to sign. to year to finish, what have you been told about what you need to do and what your future is?
Yeah, our focus is just trying to win this next one, you know, and after we win this next, versus a really good team, and then after this next one, trying to win the one after that, and just try to be able to show improvement and some excitement on winning and get it and have it be consistent. And so really our focus is only that. I think whether it's the noise or it's the distraction or it's the whatever it is, right? We have to keep that on the outside and be focused on improving. A fair amount of improving needs to be done.
Coach, you always talk about how great the practices are and the belief in this team and how it's a lot of talent. But with the frustration brewing and like the fans being upset, why should the fans for the final 2 games still have belief in this team and still have belief in you?
Yeah, I feel like the leaders of this team are guys that are winners and guys that really want to win, and winning is important, and guys that sacrifice. I mean, I know Josh Cameron was up here. You saw Josh's game today and just the effort that he had and just the energy that he had through when early in the game to late in the game. And, Josh is a leader, and he's going to bring people with him. Bryson Washington's in the same boat. There's guys that Devin Bobby is incredibly frustrated. I know Devin's going to come on fire tomorrow. And so there's guys that it means so much, and their sacrifice is only going to increase because they're doing it for their brothers.
Dave, you talked about Josh. He had career highs. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. Late in the game, when the game's out of hand, he's still making big plays. I guess it doesn't surprise you at this point, though.
Early in the week, we had Sawyer up in our team meeting, and Sawyer talked about his toughness and how he wanted to show toughness in this game and how he knew that it's going to take toughness to win. And he said, I want to call up Josh. I want you to match me. That I'm going to put everything out there. I want you to match my toughness. And Josh went up there, and he talked about his intensity. That this is going to be the most intense game that he's ever played. And I think both of those guys did it. Ashton Hawkins got up there and said, man, I'm going to play with more fire than I ever have. And I thought Ashton did that too. And so we got to get more guys in that boat, and where they're consistently, executing, right, with the emotion that comes with playing the game and funneling it the right way.